Personal Training. We always encourage our clients to stretch out at the end of their workout. We're going to go through a series of general stretches today, and each of the stretch we encourage you to hold for maybe 15-20 seconds. If you've just for general flexibility. If you need a little bit more focus on that muscle, maybe increase to 30 seconds, and if it's very, very tight and there's a really tight area with your body, increase that to holding it for a minute. This workout stretch routine will probably take just a little longer than 10 minutes once you're familiar with the exercise. So please allow that time at the end of your workout and when you're booking in your exercise time in your day. Okay, so let's start with the top of your body. We're going to start with our neck stretch. So you're going to hold the opposite side of your head with your hand and then gently pulling it to one side and then pushing down with the hand on the side of your neck stretch. And then you're just holding there. So one hold, bring the neck to the side. You're not bringing it forward, just bring it to the side and gently hold that stretch. And then going to the other side, so pulling the neck over gently and pushing down with the hand. And you want to breathe through your stretches. You don't want to be holding your breath, you want to be relaxing and be able to relax into the stretch. Good. Okay, now let's do our triceps. So you're going to put one hand behind your back, like so. And then you're going to hold the elbow with your opposite hand, and you're going to pull it back and down your back, letting your hand fall down your back. So you're stretching your triceps, and it'll go a little bit into your lats there. And you need to be able to keep your head up straight. If you can't, then maybe you can push from the front of your arm. Again, breathing through it, and make sure you're not arching your lower back in this one, tuck the tail under. Good. And then swapping to the opposite side. And with all stretches, you want to bring your stretch to the point of tension, not of pain. If it's too painful, you'll be pushing against the stretch, and it won't stretch, the muscle won't stretch properly. So you should be able to relax into it. Good. Okay. Let's move to our shoulders. So putting your arm across your chest, with the other arm, pull that arm in towards your chest for stretching the back of your shoulders. And again, breathing into it. See, your stretching is a nice, relaxing way to work out and to kind of warm down after your workout. It's not many times we get over to the other side and get opportunity to slow down in our day, so treat it as such. And it's just as important as every other component of fitness, just as important as your cardiovascular fitness and your strength fitness. Okay, lovely. Let's move down to our chest. So just turn to the side here. You can either place your hands at the base of your back, if that's enough. So we want to open the chest and open the shoulders. It just depends on the flexibility of your shoulders. So placing the hands at the base of your back, that might be enough for you in terms of stretching your chest. Otherwise, you can clasp the hands behind your back and push them down and open out the chest and shoulders. That might be enough again. Or otherwise, just bring your hands away from your back and give a deeper stretch. And you want to make sure that your shoulders are back. If you're doing a stretch with the shoulders still forward, you're not stretching the chest and the shoulders enough. You want to be able to roll the shoulders back, so squeeze between your shoulder blades. Good. Okay, now we're going to stretch out our sides. You're going to just stand a little bit wider. You're going to stretch the arm up and then tilt it over to one side, keeping the arm as straight as possible. You should be able to stretch going from your arm right down the side of your body. And make sure you breathe in this exercise. A lot of people tend to hold their breath in this one, but breathe into it, and especially breathe in and relax into the area that you're stretching. Okay, going back up or over the other side, stretch up with the other arm and then tilt over to the other side. Holding it there, breathing. I also sometimes say to people if not to stop watching the watch and the clock, to actually maybe do 3 slow breaths or 5 slow breaths depending on how long they need to hold the stretch. Okay, we're going to do a groin stretch. You're going to widen out your feet a little bit more, so we're moving down to the lower body. And we'll stretch our inner thighs. So what you're going to do is a nice wide stance with your body, or with your legs, sorry. And then you're going to bend one knee over. So you're going to keep one leg straight and bend one knee. And the weight is moved over onto this big knee. And you're stretching the inner thigh there. Make sure the knee isn't going forward over the toes. You want to sit back into it. Okay, so make sure the knee is somewhat over your foot. You're holding it there, feeling the stretch. If you're not feeling too much of a stretch, you might need to widen the stance a little bit. Or if it's too much, just bring in the stance. Good, over to the other side. Holding it there. Good. Maintaining good good posture with your upper body. Right, coming out of that, we're going to go to our quads. So we can go over to a wall, or a chair, or something to balance on, if you need to. And you're going to hold one foot behind and try and bring the heel up to your bum as much as possible. And you want to keep your knees in line with each other and your thighs in line with each other. And you want to make sure you push through the hips. So if your hips are like this, you're not doing much stretch for the hip flexor which goes into your quads. You want to make sure that you're pushing through with the hips in a nice straight line with your body. Good, let's go to the other side. Same thing, the other leg. Standing nice and tall. And the other knee, you should have a bent knee in the other knee, so you're not locking out through that knee. Now if you need a little bit of a deeper stretch there, you can pull the knee back behind the other knee, but still maintain a good posture. And tuck the tail under, so you're not curving the lower back. Okay, so quads. Lovely, going into your hamstrings. So this we're going to do a standing hamstring stretch. So you're going to step forward, just now do a natural step forward with one leg. You're going to bend the other leg and put your hands on that bent leg. Then you're going to keep a nice straight back, and you're going to tilt forward until you feel a stretch of that straight leg. And you're going to hold it there. So you don't want to start curling back. It doesn't matter, it's not all about how far you can touch your toes, or your feet, your toes, or your fingers can go down to your toes. It's just about keeping a nice straight back and stretching the hamstring. If you want a little bit more into your calf, you can lift the toe. Good, okay, swap into the other side. Stepping forward, I'm just going to do this one from the side so you can see what I mean by my back. So step forward with the other foot, bending the other leg, hands on the bent leg, tilting forward from the hips with the straight back. So you're literally tilting from here until you feel the stretch in the leg. And sometimes with stretches, the tension goes a little bit, so you can stretch into it a little bit more. Again, breathing into it, breathing into where you feel the stretch. And then raising the toe there if you want a little bit more in your calf muscle. Great, okay, moving to the floor. We're going to do a hip flexor stretch. So your hip flexor there in front of your thigh. So try and get a mat or something soft and knee on the ground. And if that's still not, if your knee is a bit too sore on the mat or on the ground where you are, just try and put a cushion underneath it or a roll of a towel or something that will support the knee. So you're in a kneeling position, feet hip width apart, and make sure your knee is over your ankle in case the knee is supported. What you're going to do is you're going to just push your hips forward slightly until you feel a stretch at the front of the hip. But again, make sure that knee is not too much over the toes because it'll just damage the knee. So you can hold it there, that might be just enough for you. Again, you want to arch the lower back, tuck the tail under, and you'll get a nice stretch at the front of the hip. If you want something a little bit stronger there, you can raise the arm up and then tilt over to the other side and get a deeper stretch around the hip flexor and the hip area there. Good, holding it there, or you can just simply be holding it here. Again, breathing into it. Okay, turning around to the other side. Same thing, kneeling position, tuck the tail under, and then move the hips forward until you feel a stretch at the front of your hip. If you want something deeper, reach up, and then tilt over to the opposite side. Again, breathe, enjoy the stretch. Okay, now let's move down to our glutes, our butt muscles. So we're going to lie on the ground, and you're going to cross one ankle over the opposite knee, so the other knee is bent, foot on the floor. And with your right arm, so if your right leg is up, your right arm, put that through the leg, put it behind the opposite thigh, and with the other hand as well, just clasp your hand behind the thigh. And then you're going to pull this knee, the right leg, towards your chest. And, sorry, you're putting the left leg towards your chest, and you're just bringing your right leg towards you, and you should feel a stretch in your hips and the bum. And your chest, your head and your shoulders should go back down to the mat, so you're not holding up like this. You're resting on the body, so you can pull an extra bit into your glutes. And if that is not enough, you can clasp your hands behind over your shin, shoulders and head should be relaxed on the mat. Again, breathing, focusing on the area that you want to stretch, focusing on relaxing that area. Good. Okay, one last stretch for our back. So you're going straight out. And you're going to bring the left knee up. With your right hand, you're going to bring the left knee all the way over to the ground. You're going to reach up with your left arm, and then you're going to open out that left arm to the side, and you're going to look at your left hand. So this is a lovely stretch for your chest, your mid-back, your lower back, into your hips and glutes. You're going to breathe there, looking at your left hand, and just sinking into the stretch with each out breath. Coming back slowly into the middle, and then lifting up your right leg. Then with your left hand, bring it all the way over to the ground, reaching up with your right arm and then opening that out to the side, looking at your right hand, feeling the stretch in your chest, mid-back, lower back, going into your hips and glutes. Again, just enjoying the stretch. It's a really lovely stretch for your back. Good. Lovely. And then coming up, and then let's do a stretch for our calves. So you can do this up against a wall or anything that's stable. And you're going to step, so you're going to put your feet together, you're going to step back into a nice semi-lunge position. So your knee, your front leg, your knee is over your ankle, and the back leg, the hips and the toes are pointing forward, and you're pushing back into the back heel, keeping that back leg straight. You're just holding it there, stretching the calves at the base of your lower leg. If you want to go into your Achilles tendon, so dropping that stretch down to the lower calf into your Achilles there, you just bend the knee, keeping the heel on the ground, you're bending the knees. That brings the stretch down into the lower calf, into the back Achilles. And then same again on the other side, stepping back, push the hips forward. While you're pushing the hips forward, you're pushing that back heel into the ground. And breathing into it, holding it there. Then from there, if you want to just either hold it there, or otherwise you want to drop it into the lower calf, into your Achilles, you can just bend the back knee slightly while still pushing into the back heel. And you feel the stretch dropping down into the lower calf. Okay, great. That's your routine of exercise. It's just a general routine to do, to follow, and you have all your muscles stretched out after that workout. Hope you enjoyed it and enjoy your exercise. Thank you very much.